want to do a little Golden Globe recap. Golden Globes were yesterday. Saw that from start to finish. I don't know if you got a chance to see any of it, Tim, or see some of the winners.
Clips, yeah.
Clips.
Some funny stuff with some of the announcers as well. It was pretty
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, no, yeah. It was good. Announcing was good. Presentation was good. But I was gonna go over some of my thoughts on some of them, some of the winners.
Mhm.
And we'll start off with, I think, best podcast. So I'm just going off of the Golden Globes winners. Winner was Amy Hang with Good Hang with or Amy Poehler. Great show. Like I say, I've heard it, I've listened to it. Funny, packed with always entertaining guest segments. And she does what she does best. But with that said, I I wouldn't have picked that for myself for best podcast. I had it between the Mel Robbins podcast and Call Her Daddy. I think
Hmm.
Mel Robbins runs one of the most followed and watched, listened to podcasts in the US right now. I think she's like top two, three on Apple Podcasts of subscribers.
Wow.
Um, and just what her content brings, brings a value. She's uplifting, she's motivating, and some of the stuff she gives to the listeners based off who she's interviewing, that isn't always celebrity. Sometimes it's doctors, sometimes it's life experts, things like that. It's practical. It's things that we could take away and use in our everyday life. So I think that's what I've always enjoyed about the Mel Robbins Project podcast. The next one, Call Her Daddy. For me, like I say, I think this one probably wouldn't have gotten a chance because of the conversation she has. I don't know if you've heard clips of her, but a
At
lot more,
times. Mhm.
a lot more adult sided. But I think the reason I have her is her impact that she's had into the podcasting game and where she started out from because she started out from nothing, just her caller daddy talking about sex, adult themed stuff for females. And she brought this brand up from nothing to millions of dollars with Spotify. And now she even attracts some of the biggest name guests. If you watch some of the guests that come on her show, it's high profile guests, and also some of these conversations are so intense and so interesting that I feel like she deserved best podcast a little bit more because a lot of her content's just as good. So,
Mhm.
but like I said, the one thing for me, Amy Poehler, great at this. I think she does deserve it. She does well. But I think and I think this is where I'm gonna get hate from a lot of people is she's already deeply established into this entertainment business for me. And even before launching this podcast, and when you look at all the connections she has, everybody she knows in this industry, it's so much easier to bring guests and bring this content to us daily or weekly because it's all her friends, it's all well-known people that are going to join her as guests. Where, I don't want to take away from that, but it highlights just different what Alex Cooper and Mel Robbins did because they aren't these big name celebrities. They built theirs from the ground up and they've done such amazing things. And that's why I think that between those two should have won best podcast because what they have done for the podcast industry. I think the three shows I would want to shout out that really started podcasting: Bill Simmons, Dan Patrick, and Part of My Take. Those are the three podcasting pioneers that opened the route for all these nominees, us, and many other podcasters that are out there right now.
Yeah, very well said. I completely agree. Bill Simmons, I've seen more of like clip level stuff from him.
Mhm.
But obviously name anybody that does podcasting knows.
Yeah.
Dan Patrick, I avid follower of his. I think he's fantastic. And, he can bring on a slew of guests that ranges in far more than just sports is in that stuff I really enjoy. It could be stuff
Mhm.
from, having guests that can just talk your head off about bourbon
Hmm.
and famous bourbons, or actors. He's
Hmm.
very good pals with Adam Sandler, so having
Yeah.
him come on as a guest is always enjoyable. And likewise with Pardon My Take, the guest list that they get is fantastic. But they're just like us. Their commentary and chats that they have is stuff that a lot of guys have in their friend groups as well. So it's just kind of relatable stuff. It's fun. But I agree, they're pioneers in it. But yeah, obviously, when it comes to probably this category, because they weren't involved in this, I think you called it right with you saw it coming with Good Hang in Amy
Yeah.
Poehler winning this category, and you're exactly
Hmm.
right. Probably for all that you mentioned with
Hmm.
her connections in showbiz, it's just an easy way into it.
Yeah.
But I again, this having this award come up now makes me feel a lot better about us starting when we did, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. I know that,
Yeah.
we could be seen as late to the game, but honestly, with this just starting,
Yeah.
we're almost early to the game. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it just opens up to see other avenues. And like I say, I think the one thing, and like one of the messages I have towards the end after I talk about more, um, it's just a perseverance and just how hard you work towards it. Like I say, don't give up because, like I say, we're gonna have to go the Mel Robbins, the Alex Cooper, and Call Her Daddy route where we have to build our name. We have to start from the ground up. And if we could get to a point to that level, even just being nominated for myself, like I said, I think Alex Cooper should be proud that she was in this top six because it
Mhm.
shows how much work she's done and how much change she's made into this podcasting realm. And it's something to be proud of, you know. Hopefully next year it'll be someone different. And like I say, nothing against Good Hang with Amy Poehler because it is a great podcast. Don't want to take anything away from it, but like I say, it just the playing field is always a little different. It's the same thing in Hollywood. To get into the acting biz, we talk about nepotism, you know, the nepo babies, and sometimes you just have to fight a little harder. And once you get through, you'll be happy, you'll be successful, and that's the goal.
Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah. What one of the next, and then like I said, I'll go through all of them. Some of them I'll go through quickly. Just who won. Best performance in stand-up comedy on television. That went to Ricky Gervais and Mortality. I had Kevin Hart acting my age just because it was Kevin Hart. That's the name I thought would have won.
Mhm.
Haven't seen much of this. Vera said she saw Kevin Hart. She said it was funny. Um, I'm curious to see all of these because all these names: Sarah Silverman, Ricky Gervais, Kumal Nanjiani, Kevin Hart, Brett Goldstein, and Bill Maher, all nominated. So they must have had great segments, you know, and great stand-up on television and Netflix or wherever they were streaming.
Mhm. Yeah, no, all big names. Yeah, Ricky Gervais. He can be a little bit more cutthroat with some of his stuff,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
And yeah, when you're like that, it can make you unique. It can kind of put you out there a bit more.
yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like, maybe the biggest thing with Kevin Hart is his stand-up hasn't been quite as relevant as his acting has as of late.
No,
So maybe that's the only,
yeah,
kind of knife in this that could have been possible.
yeah.
But yeah, no, good for Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, good for Ricky Gervais. Kevin Hart, a lot of jokes at the Golden Globes. If you saw, if you guys haven't seen, look up all the
Yeah.
jokes that they made with Kevin Hart. Hilarious. It was
Man,
good.
I love his presence at those
Uh,
things. It's just
uh,
it's just funny. It changes
yeah,
the tune. I love it.
it does. It makes it more lively, and I think he accepts his role as that little. So I hated to say that word, the little word, as that punchline, you know, because he knows because of his height, because of some of the work he's done, some of the movies he's done, he's always going to be, you know, part of the jokes. But like I say, rolls with it because it makes him relevant, and I think it's a
Yep.
smart thing for him to not take it offensive and just roll with those punches.
Absolutely. He embraces it. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Him and The Rock going back and forth is always funny.
Yeah, it's always good. Yeah. Next winner, best performance by a male actor in a supporting role on television. This was Owen Cooper with Adolescence. I called him winning it.
Hmm.
16-year-old kid, one of the youngest kids to win a Golden Globe. So shout out to him. And then best performance by a male actor in a limited series, anthology series, or a motion picture made for television went to Stephen Graham from Adolescence. So he played the dad of Owen. Shout out to Stephen Graham because I remember watching this guy in a lot of movies many, many years ago. When he was going down, I really liked him saying hi and getting a lot of praise and hugs from all these big celebrities that he worked with in the past. When he passed Leo, he gave a big old hug to Leo, and I thought that was great because Leo and him were in Gangs of New York together. So, like
Okay,
I say, a movie from so long ago, but still having that connection and those memories, and just Leo probably seeing him win, he's probably proud of him. So, shout out to Stephen Graham.
absolutely. No, that's awesome. A lot of big names in that category, so not an easy
Yeah.
category. Good for him.
Yeah, yeah. Next, best performance by a female actor in a supporting role on television. That one went to Erin Doherty from Adolescence. Like I say, if you guys haven't seen Adolescence, check it out. A little bit of a hard move show to watch. Short, I think it's like 6, 7 episodes on Netflix, but it's so touching and I I want to remember fully what the or when I get to it, but the directors did share a little bit about it of how this show wasn't meant to scare parents, but it was sort of to show how we need to change how we raise our children in the future. So I liked his message with this, and I see it that way now with adolescents. I don't see it as a horror for a parent movie, of what your son could do.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like these categories are following suit. Adolescence seems like,
Yeah,
yeah,
big
some great
big
roles
winners.
in. Hmm.
Yeah. Next one, best performance by a male actor in a television series, musical, or comedy. I called Seth Rogen in the studio with this. He won it. Uh, he was grateful. Some of the jokes he made, you could see he was a little nervous. But he did great. Like I say, if you guys haven't seen the studio, I truly think you guys gotta watch it. It's a funny show.
His line towards Martin Short and Steve Martin was
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I always dreamed to be beating you guys."
Yeah.
It's just yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's funny vibes, man. I love
Uh,
Seth Rogen.
he's funny vibes, and like I said, the way he sort of said it, like the episode where they did the Golden Globes, it was sort of like everything he did, yesterday. So awesome to see. So shout out to
Mhm.
him. Great to see him winning something like this because he is a creative guy, funny guy too. So
Mhm.
um, next, best performance by a female actor in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television. This went to Michelle Williams for Dying for Sex. I've heard stuff about this show. I haven't watched it, I'll be honest, so I'm not sure. Claire Danes and The Beast in Me did really well. I thought it was going to go to Sarah Snook from All Her Fault, just like it did for the Critics' Choice, but they went Michelle Williams, so shout out to her. She wasn't there, but yeah, like I say, everybody in this category was great. Amanda Seyfried, Claire Danes, Rashida Jones, Robin Wright. Um, like I say, it's always hard to pick a winner.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Next
love
one.
to sneak in like knowledge of just a random movie in this and be like, yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. You
Catch you
may. You never know. We'll,
unsuspecting.
we'll, we'll see. We'll see. Still got a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, Next, best performance by a female actor in a television series, musical, or comedy. This one went to Jean Smart. This is who I called Hacks. I think Hacks has been winning. She's been winning all of it
Mhm.
for performance by a female actor in a musical or a comedy. Um, I think the only other person that could have probably competed was Selena Gomez or Ayo Edebiri. Um, but yeah, Gene Smart, like I said, no surprise there from anybody.
Got it. Yeah. Jenna
Next,
Ortega is Wednesday came out quite a while ago, didn't it?
it came out I think towards the beginning of the year, so
Maybe
yeah.
maybe just too long ago or
To
nah?
to she does well, but I think compared to some of these other actresses, they put a lot more. But like what Jenna Ortega does to bring Wednesday Addams unique, I don't think many people could do what she does for this show.
Got it.
So, like I say, it's outstanding, but it's just like I say, all these categories are so hard. I think, like
Yeah,
I said, if Jenna Ortega would have won, it would have been a big surprise, but nobody would think otherwise.
got it. Yep.
Yeah. Next one, best performance by a male actor in television series drama. That one went to Noah Wiley. This is The Pit, the hospital show on HBO Max. That's who I had winning. Um, I like crossed my fingers that it was Diego Luna winning for Andor, a Star Wars movie or the Star Wars show.
Hmm.
But I Noah Wiley did amazing in The Pit. So another show that just started season two, third was it Thursday? Last Thursday. So Thursday nights on HBO Max, season two. Like I say, we're not sponsored by HBO Max, but hey, watch you guys.
Yeah.
Give me a free subscription. I wouldn't mind
That'd be fantastic.
it.
Sponsor us, we'll watch. Loaded category.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, Adam Scott with Severance has gotten a ton of talk as well. I agree with you. Diego Luna with Andor would have been fantastic. And then, of course, Mark Ruffalo, Gary Oldman, Sterling
Hmm.
Brown. Yep, big
Yeah.
names.
Great name. So it was a hard one. Best performance by a female actor in a television series drama. That went to Rhea Seehorn. Pluribus. I've heard a lot of great things. I have this on my queue to watch on Apple TV. So I'm curious to see it, but she's been winning everything in this category award season, so not surprised. Um, yeah, that's about all I have for that one.
Okay.
Um, then we'll go right here. Best television limited series, anthology series, motion picture made for television. This one went to Adolescence. Like I said, I think Adolescence pretty much swept all the categories that they were nominated for. So great show, but all her fault. If you guys haven't watched it on Peacock, I thought that was interesting. Might Some people might like it, some people may not. Michael Peña's in it, so I always like watching the things that Michael Peña's in.
Yeah,
Uh, Black Mirror, another very out of this world show. I've watched a few episodes, haven't seen it much, but great one. Um, The Girlfriend, Vera watched that one. She liked it a lot, so that one's a interesting one as well. So, like I say, great shows to watch. If you guys haven't watched any of them, I do suggest t taking a look, giving the first two episodes a try, and if you don't like it, then move on.
absolutely.
Yeah. Best television series, musical or comedy. That one went to the studio. Uh, Not surprised. Studio, like I say, for me, when I first saw the studio, I thought it was hilarious. Watched it every week when it released. Loved it. They're starting to start season two filming in a few weeks, he mentioned. So, if they're ever in the Ventura County area, if you guys need backups, extras, hit me up. I'm
There
okay.
you go.
I'm open to it. But great shows. Only Murderers in the Buildings. Nobody Wants This. That's a show on Netflix that I enjoy. I don't think a lot of people do. But a funny show in my opinion. Check it out. But yeah, that's those. The Bear, Hacks, Abbott Elementary are the other ones that were nominated.
Yeah. I got my Apple TV Plus going. Haven't really focused much on that streaming service, but
Yeah,
yeah, now I need to watch the studio because
yeah,
it's a winner. Looks
yeah.
great.
It is. It's good. Best television series drama that went to The Pit. That's been sweeping as well for this category in the award seasons for TV. White Lotus was nominated. I think we did a little White Lotus segment when it first came out
Mhm.
and it ended. I enjoyed it. Uh, Always very creative. Um, so if it, check it out. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Vera wasn't the biggest fan of this season, but she watched it. But I was a fan of it. I thought it was good, funny. Slow Horses. Severance is another one I've started watching, but I haven't been able to continue it. I want to finish the two seasons. I've heard great things about it, so I'm excited to get that one started. Pluribus is another one, and The Diplomat. So a lot of great drama shows.
Absolutely. Yeah, loaded category.
Yeah. Next, cinematic and box office achievement. This one went to Sinners. Big win for Sinners. I called Sinners here because they did so well in the theaters. I think they had
Hmm.
three different releases for Sinners when it came out. I think regular, and then it came out in IMAX, and then like I think like 44 millimeter or something. So made
Wow.
a lot of money. Um, Only other movie that I sort of thought could have dethroned Sinners was K-pop Demon Hunters because of what they did streaming wise on Netflix, because I think it's hit like close to the billions. But after that, like I say, if it wasn't Sinners, it would have been a snub for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely called that one. Another loaded category. But yeah,
Yeah.
Sinners made a lot of sense. Got so much attention in theaters.
Yeah. And then Best Original Song, Motion Picture, that one went to Golden. K-pop Demon Hunters. I think everybody listens to it. If you don't listen to it, stop lying. I know deep down inside it's in your stereo and you're bumping it when nobody's
Just own
around.
it.
Just own
Yeah,
it. I do. It's a great song. I think it's gonna win the Oscar. I don't think there's no way around it.
absolutely.
This next category, and this is where I have a few notes. Best original score for motion picture. That went to Ludwig Göransson. Um, Big win for him. Not only did he win again, but he's beating out legends like Hans Zimmer, Alexander Desplat, Johnny Greenwood. There's a lot of big names in this category, and Ludwig has been winning. I think the last two or 3 years, he's won a few Golden Globes and even Oscars. So really good for him. It says what level that he's operating as, making this sound for the music. But what really disappointed me about the Golden Globes is that they didn't air this one. This one they did during the commercial break.
Oh,
So you didn't hear his acceptance speech. You probably have to find it somewhere online. And I think what's disappointing is not including it because I think the scores of movies are such massive parts of the film. I think without a good score, it's gonna elevate your movie. If you have a bad score but an amazing movie, it's not gonna be great. Nobody's gonna want to watch your movie because the score isn't there. You know, the score for Inception. If
yeah,
that
Hans.
score, if that one wasn't that way, if it was something different, I don't think it would have hit the same. It wouldn't be as memorable for someone like me. That I love that movie. I watch it probably once every 3 months. So. I think that's where it was sort of disappointing that the Golden Globes sort of took this away from showing it to us because he deserves to be recognized in front of everybody watching. Because like I say, scores are big parts of the movie. So I don't know what they were thinking, but he, Ludwig on his way to becoming one of the greats in composing and music for movies. So I'm excited to see what he does next.
Yeah, no, you brought up the example I was going to say with Hans Zimmer and Inception because you hear it, you know what it belongs to.
Yeah, yeah. So. Next, best screenplay for a motion picture. This one went to Thomas Anderson, one battle after another. Um, I called it. I would have wanted to see Chloe Zhao for Hamnet or Ryan Coogler for Sinners. But I felt Paul Thomas Anderson, one battle after another, was just gonna be pretty much sweeping the Golden Globes, and they pretty much did.
Yeah, yeah, no, you called that one for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kugler was certainly up
he's
there.
out there. Yeah. And then Best Director, Motion Picture, it's usually the same people. This one as well, Paul Thomas Anderson picked him. Would have wished it was Coogler or Chloe Zhao. But like I said, the categories are so hard because, like I said, you have Ryan Coogler, Paul Thomas Anderson, Joachim Trier, Jafar Pani, Guillermo del Toro, and then Chloe Zhao. Like I say, anybody that wins, Hamnet, Frankenstein, it was just an accident. Sentimental value, one battle after another in Sinners. They're amazing. Like I say, it's hard to really be able to say who it would be.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
Yeah. That's best director. Best performance by a male actor in supporting role in any motion picture. This one went to Stellan Skarsgård. So I think I have some notes for this one that I wrote. So I'm not surprised with Stellan Skarsgård. I think a few months ago I heard he was the favorite for Sentimental Value to win Best Supporting Role. Um, and like I say, I think even though in the Critics' Choice Awards, he lost to Jacob Elordi, Skarsgård was managed to pull this one out. And I think what really stood out for me from his acceptance speech was how thoughtful he was about the movie and just the cinema experience in itself. Because he did say the one thing that sort of resonated with me is like he said, hopefully you will see it in a cinema because they are an extinguished species now. That is magic. Cinema should be seen in cinemas. And I think it totally resonates with me because I love watching movies in movie theaters. I love going for that experience, and I think it is dying a little bit. And we talked about it somewhat last week of what Netflix might be trying to do, and it's a shame. So, great moment, great quote that I think is resonating with a lot of us movie fans, um, and just sort of showing how movie theaters still matter.
Stellan Skarsgård, not a big Netflix fan.
No, no, probably not. No,
At the
no,
moment, at
that
least.
I think there's not a lot of people that are Netflix fans at the moment with what's been
Yeah,
happening.
for sure.
Uh, but yeah, but like I said, this one I think when it comes down to the Oscars, it could go anyway. Jake Elordi could win it. Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, I think they're up there. Paul Mescal could be a sneaky win, and then Adam Sandler. Just for him to be there shows that his movies are getting a little different. He still makes his funny movies, but he's stepping into this other role, which I'm happy to see.
He has great range.
Yeah. Next one, best performance by a female actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. This one was also a big surprise. This one went to Tiana Taylor. Uh, was early in the night, her first Golden Globe ever, and a great surprise and snuck out with that award. She beat out my pick of Amy Madigan with Weapons and Gladys from Weapons. I thought it was going to be her. I really liked her performance, but Tiana Taylor did well in one battle after another. And you could tell she was completely caught off guard when she heard her name, how she reacted to it, saying she almost didn't even write a speech because she didn't think she'd win. Um, so I think it's just a very humbling speech and purposeful. She she was shocked with the win. I wasn't fully shocked, but I did think it was going to go to someone else. So kudos to her, and I think this is really going to make the Oscars a tough one.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, let's see what happens at the Oscars. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I agreed
Yeah.
with you with Amy just because that's the only movie I'd seen in this category. Um, but she was phenomenal with her role. But
Yeah.
yeah, Tiana Taylor, I got to go watch that film now.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Next one, best performance by a male actor in motion picture, musical, or comedy. Um, this one went to
To me.
Timothy Chalamet. Um, big win for him. He won the Critics' Choice. Um, I think it was great for him. Um, where is my notes with him? Did I already delete him? Oh no, right here. I think he could sweep award season because he won the Critics' Choice. He beat out, Clooney, Hawk, Jesse Plemons, Lee Bung Han, and Leo. Um, One of the standout moments from his acceptance speeches was when he said something personable about what keeps him grounded and something his dad told him. So he said, "My dad instilled in me a spirit of gratitude growing up. Always be grateful for what you have." And then he said, "I'd be lying if I didn't say say those moments didn't make this moment that much sweeter." And I think it resonates with a lot of us do that sometimes we don't get recognition, sometimes we don't win, but when we do it just makes the moment sweeter because he was here last year and lost out in a lot of his awards. I think it was for portraying Billy Joel, was it? Or
I believe that's correct. Yeah, he was
yeah.
nominated for a lot.
Yeah, so but losing out,
Yep.
and like I say, I think it's always hard for people to lose because you put so much into it. But I liked it. It showed his humble side, that he. it reminded us that he's always going to remember the values he had as a kid and something his father taught him. So shout out to Timmy
Mhm.
for winning.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, he's been everywhere.
Yeah,
Good
he's
for
been
him.
ever. Yeah, and then best performance by a female actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy that went to Rose Byrne. I had her winning. I had it between her and Chase Infinity from one battle after another. Heard a lot about Rose's performance and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. She was a favorite, I think, a few months ago when announcements went out, so not surprised. Uh, she was funny. She think Bobby Cannavale, I might be butchering his last name, but her husband, because he wasn't there, but he was at a reptile expo in New York because they just got a bearded
Mm,
dragon. So very funny. She's
kind of
funny.
worth it.
She's really funny too. If you've seen some of her comedic movies and Neighbors, she was funny in that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
she's
so
great.
shout out to her to be able to win this. But she beat out some big names: Kate Hudson, Emma Stone, Cynthia Erivo, Chase Infinity, and Amanda Seyfried.
Absolutely. Great. Reptile Expo's got to be great.
Yeah, yeah. Must have been an expensive bearded dragon if he had to go to that expo.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like great colors.
Yeah. So this next one, best performance by a male actor in motion picture drama. This was one of my big upsets of the night. For me, with Timothy Chalamet just not competing in this category because this is drama, he was in comedy. I genuinely thought Michael B. Jordan was going to take this. I thought it was his to it was pretty much his. I didn't think he was even going to lose it. I think a few days during last week, I did hear leading up to this that Wagner Mora was making a bit of a late climb, and I've heard a lot of great things about his performance. So this win didn't fully come from a surprise, but still, for me, going into last night, I felt I was on the Michael B. Jordan momentum. So big snub in my book, but at the same time, it's hard to be mad about it because Wagner did great. I really loved how Michael B. Jordan just handled it with total grace. Clapping, excited for Wagner Moore to win. Nothing but gratitude for this nomination, and just a very professional person and actor. Um, and I think these are the moments of the Golden Globes, Oscars, all these award seasons that we always sometimes come to a disagreement of the outcomes, but we always have to acknowledge all the competition performances and appreciate just how it came out. Because it was Wagner Moura, Oscar Isaac, Michael B. Jordan, Joel Edgerton, Jeremy Allen White, and Dwayne Johnson. A lot of big names, so
Oh yeah.
shout out to him's. Unfortunate for Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Michael B. Jordan. I think Wagner Mora is probably like the only name I don't know in that category.
I think I remember I told you last week he played Pablo Escobar in
Oh,
Narcos and
duh.
Netflix.
Yes, you're totally right. Yep. Yeah, because in his photo that he has here on the Golden Globes website, trimmed
Oh
compared to
yeah,
what he when he
yeah.
played. Yeah,
No belly.
not even close. Yeah. So yeah, in shape versus got to play Pablo.
Yeah,
He was great in that series. So I yeah, I can imagine why he won. But
yeah,
yep, it seems like it would be a snub with Michael B. Jordan Sinners. I agree.
yeah. Next, best performance by a female actor in a motion picture drama. This was Jessie Buckley. I think I've been calling this for months since I watched Hamnet. She won it. Nothing against anybody else, but I think her performance, even though I haven't seen any of their other performances, I think what Jessie Buckley did was just so moving in Hamnet. Like I say, if you guys get to watch it, I still owe Chloe Zhao my bill for therapy because it was a very emotional movie. So
Oh
she
man.
needs to pay for some of my sessions that I've gone through. I've told her I can't watch that movie again because I'm just gonna have to go back to therapy after watching it.
Ah,
But
ah.
amazing movie.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean the way you rave about it,
Yeah.
it sounds incredible.
Yeah. So, last three. Best motion picture non-English language. That went to The Secret Agent. That was the Brazil movie. That's the one with Wagner Moura.
Mhm.
It was between that and Sentimental Value, I think, leading up to this, the top two candidates. So the way it's going, it looks like Secret Agent may win the Oscars in March, but some of these movies, Sentimental Value, I think, can still make a push. Um, so we'll sort of see what happens.
Mhm.
Then motion picture animated. That one went to K-pop Demon Hunters. No question about it. Vera was a little disappointed Zootopia 2 didn't win it, but she also knows K-pop was just out of this world.
Yep. Yeah, I can see why. Still haven't seen Zootopia 2, heard phenomenal things. But yeah, I just think anybody who takes a look at a category with K-pop Demon Hunters
Yeah.
is going to think it's going to compete.
Yeah, it's a little hard, so uh best motion picture musical or comedy. This one went to, of course, One Battle After
There you
Another.
go,
No
Leo.
no surprise. Big win for them this night. And it's gonna go into the Oscars. Uh and then the last category, and also I think my second biggest snub, or it's between that and Michael Jordan first, second. It could be vice versa. Best motion picture drama went to Hamnet. And what I will say, I can't call it fully a snub because I think it was very close. I've said it in the post when I was going through my Golden Globe predictions. I enjoyed Hamnet a lot more than Sinners. I love Sinners. I think it's an amazing movie. What Ryan Coogler did with that movie, phenomenal. But I just enjoyed Hamnet. I don't know if it's just recency bias or just how deeply I really connected to it, being a dad now and just a story about it. But it's the one that's really has stayed with me for a long time. But like I said, what Sinners did as a film accomplished many great things: box office numbers, cultural impact, the hype. Um, Fidel, I think, doesn't go to the movie theaters a lot. He said we went to the movie theaters for this. If he went to the movie theaters for this, it was a great movie.
Mhm.
So I really thought because One Battle After Another was in a different category, I wanted Hamnet to win. I picked Sinners though. I'm happy Hamnet won. Disappointed a little bit in Sinners. Uh, but you could see in the room, everybody was surprised with this win. If you look at Chloe Zhao when it was announced she won, she couldn't believe that she won. Her face was just in shock. I don't think she thought she was going to win. And then when she walked up and she was going to talk, you could see her looking directly at Ryan Coogler because she probably feels really bad for him because she felt that his movie probably was going to win this or should have won this. So it's one of the moments that no one saw coming. And like I said, I think looking ahead, Oscars, it's going to be a three-headed race for me. Hamnet, Sinners, and One Battle After Another. I think One Battle After Another will take this. And then I think my last few things, because I don't know why I was just so passionate with how this went out. It was
Mhm.
crazy. But like for Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, I think some of the thoughts I've had is, we could argue that they were snubbed at this award show. But if you've been watching award shows for many years and not just this one year because they're in it, you know that sometimes it's just going to go this way. I think when Best Picture was given to The Hurt Locker, everybody thought it was going to go to Avatar that year, James Cameron,
Mhm.
but it went to The Hurt Locker. And Hurt Locker is an amazing movie. Avatar is an amazing movie. I still watch Avatar yearly. So every nominee in all these categories did amazing, incredible work, and they all probably deserve the nominations and even the Oscar, but it's impossible to predict. Ryan Coogler, I see him coming back. And I know he will win in within the next few years. His films are always emotional, they're groundbreaking, and they're just cinematic experiences. Fruitville Station, I don't know if you ever saw that one that he made.
Parts, I definitely know what it's about.
Yeah, so that movie, honestly, when I saw it, phenomenal. I am a little hurt that it was never nominated for a Golden Globe or Oscar. Um, and he also made Black Panther, which, if you
Mm.
look at what Black Panther did, is one of the first superhero films to ever be nominated for a Best Picture, which is historical. So that shows the type of work Ryan Coogler's done and going to continue doing. And then Michael B. Jordan, that guy's still young in this movie business. He's going to continue to grow with every role. We're going to continue to see him give powerful performances, and his performances are so unforgettable that if he never wins, it's okay because we're all going to remember everything he does for the rest of our lives, and that's more than an award. So, uh, they're both going to be succeeding in the future, and they're going to do something special either together, separately, and we're going to be talking about everything they've done in their list of work for a lifetime. So I hope they take it that way. I know deep down inside they're probably pissed off a bit, but I think it's going to motivate them to do amazing work in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I can. I mean, I'm looking here at Ryan Coogler. He's only 39. He directed Creed
Hmm.
when he was only 29, and
Yep.
Fruitvale Station when he was 27, Black Panther when he's barely over 30. Like his work up to this point, being as young as 39, is incredible.
Yeah.
He's got a hell of a career ahead of him. So, which is exciting for all of us, you know, fans of his work.
Hmm. Yeah. So biggest snub, but like I say, great awards. Like I said, that's why I enjoy watching it because I'm a movie fan. I enjoy going to the cinemas, watching this. I try to watch as much as I can. I think I've watched quite a few this year. I'm gonna try to check out quite a few more of these before the Oscars in March, early March. So to have a better idea and maybe give a different thought on my feelings. But that's the Golden Globes.
Love it. Yeah, I got to do some homework, but got to catch up.
Yeah, but it's all right. Like I say, I missed out on quite a bit. So if you would have picked differently, you could have
There we
outscored me.
go.
So like I say, it's always a
Uh-huh.
toss up. Um,
Absolutely.